Wait, I heard myself somewhere. Where am I hearing myself? Oh, I hear myself here. Wait, do I post it? I've never streamed here. Let me wait. Post. What's happening? Okay, does this work? Guys, sorry, I'm figuring this out. Just wait, there we go. Yeah, it's posted. Hello guys. I'm in my news outfit. Okay, let me see. All right. I think that looks good. Can you guys see fine on Twitch? Does Twitch look good? Does Twitch look good, guys? Yep. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just a little hungry. Eat some raw beef. All right. Give it just a minute for everyone to get here. You guys ready for some news coverage? I will say this is going to be a serious stream. Completely 100% serious. Okay. All right. Turn that down. All right. Yes, guys, I'll be covering the news live from Florida. That is what I'll be doing today. All right. How are you guys doing? You guys doing good? I have my chat up. I'm cross streaming live on X and also on Twitch. We're here to make the news accessible to everyone. I hope you guys are all safe. I hope if you're in a mandatory evacuation zone that you have evacuated. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch to our news map shortly, just to so we can get a good view of what's going on. Here we go. We'll go ahead and switch over. So here we go. As you guys can see, this is Florida, and in Florida there is a massive hurricane that's hitting right now, as you can tell. And we have some live coverage here in order to for everyone to know what's going on. We're gonna be partially serious in this because it is a serious issue. So there will be some seriousness in this. There also will be some joking, but in general, we are somewhere in here. I mean, if I can give a little draw here and let you guys know that currently, me Dream, I am within this circle. This hurricane, as you can tell, is barreling towards us, guys. Unfortunately, we're right in the path. So we're here to provide coverage for you guys. I will be. You guys can see this live map. So if you actually are within like a damage zone, I will be talking about stuff and any alerts and stuff that we get going on. This will be partially serious, but Yeah, you guys like the outfit? Let me just give a shout out real quick to who made the skin. Beck Vibes made the skin. Thank you, Beck Vibes. I needed a good little outfit. But yeah, this is Hurricane Milton, and it's right now. It is currently a Category 3, as you can tell, with wind speeds of 120 miles an hour. 120. It's currently moving northeast, and it is looking to smash kind of directly into this western side of Florida here. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to hit Skeppy, and potentially, I think like Moist Critical is somewhere in here as well. Luckily, I mean, I guess unluckily and luckily, we are, like I said, we're more towards the Orlando area, the southwestern side of Orlando here. So we should be hopefully okay. We might lose power if the stream does shut off, and we may have lost power. But yeah, one thing we do want to keep an eye on is these little clusters over here. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but these little red clusters are actually tornado prone areas. So luckily, because the storm is kind of moving in this eastern track, they've kind of pushed off the coast of Florida. So tornadoes are probably spawning out here, in the ocean. But just maybe 30 minutes to an hour ago, there was a bunch of tornadoes over in this kind of Cape Canaveral Space Coast area. Like actual tornadoes, destructive tornadoes, which is actually kind of scary. So if we get any tornado warnings while we're here, I'll tell you guys. I'll show you guys where they are. We have kind of live updates on this app here. So we will get coverage. So if you are in an area, or if you know anybody in one of these areas where there's a tornado, I'll be telling you, and you can text them, let them know to bunker, get into a place with no windows, cover your head, don't go outside, essentially. Yeah, we can see here all these areas that are colored in, that are kind of up here in Georgia, South Carolina, are actually from the previous hurricane, and their power outages. So in Florida, you can kind of see power outages as well on these all these colored areas here. These are reported power outages. So again, there's less up in the area towards Orlando right now. There's not really many, and that's around where we are. So we're kind of getting a little lucky with no power outages yet. But even in this area, because these clusters before that were here were, obviously because the hurricane's moving this way, they were previously kind of around here, which is why we have all these power outages in these areas. Yeah, I mean, hurricanes obviously are not an uncommon thing in Florida. They do, there's usually a couple a year, but there's not a couple like Milton, because this guy here, he is a powerful hurricane, one of the most powerful hurricanes to ever exist in the Gulf of Mexico. Because as you can see, kind of, Hurricane Milton started out over here in this area, and kind of moved northern, and then just went in, decided to beeline straight for us. Yeah. So, I don't know. Hurricanes hate Florida. I don't know why, but they do. How's George? George is he's safe. He's bunkered. He's ready for the weather. He's prepared for Milton. He might sleep through it. Who knows? But these cameras, as you can see, are actually cameras from within the storms. Like this one right here. Like we can kind of click around and see, like as we're getting, we have we're kind of watching right now. This is heading towards Sarasota. Unfortunately, hopefully, if you're in any of these areas, you have evacuated. I think a lot of these areas are kind of mandatory evacuation zones, like in Bradenton and Sarasota, and St. Petersburg, Tampa, especially. So hopefully you have evacuated. I would hope you've evacuated. But yeah, some of these cameras, I don't know which ones we're actually watching right now, but we can kind of click around and see, like, that's this one right here. So if you can kind of see, you can't really see much. I mean, this used to be, I was watching this camera earlier, and there was like there was like some, I think there was like some rocks here, and there's like a little bit of ocean. And then now there's just, you can't see anything. So that's kind of right here on this little edge here. So yeah, I mean, it's not not looking good in that area. I mean, down here maybe okay, this isn't as bad. But it's still it's picking up for sure. And the biggest thing people got to worry about kind of on this coast is the storm surge, which essentially just basically what happens is, I mean, I'm not actually like a scientist, so don't quote me word for word. But the water from the ocean gets pushed onto the land. Essentially, that's essentially what storm surge is. It gets the water from the ocean. All this wind goes and pushes that water onto these coastal areas, which is the most dangerous parts of the hurricane. That's why they end up being, in areas that are on the coast because they're most affected by that storm surge. And sometimes I think it can be devastating. I mean, I think this time it's 15 feet of storm surge. So meaning, let's say you're at sea level. You're on one of these little houses over here in, I don't know, Bailey Hall. You're like, let's say you're this guy right here. You're on sea level. If let's say your house is 14 feet tall and you're on sea level, well, your house is underwater. It's underwater. So that's kind of scary. I know up in Tampa they have, I think their hospital is on an island, which doesn't make too much sense. But hey, they have coverage. Apparently, they have like these big little these big walls that they put up. But yeah, I think right now that we're kind of keeping an eye on. I think one of the bigger things, honestly, is the actual tornado sightings. Which let me show the current wind field. Actually, this is the current wind field. Pretty much all of Florida is covered. Actually, some parts up here are getting hurricane level winds. Kind of surprising up there in Tallahassee. But yeah, pretty much if you see, almost all of Florida is kind of covered in the outer wind field of Milton. So you're not avoiding it almost no matter where you are. I guess unless you're in Miami, I guess you're a little lucky right now. Maybe not later though. But what I wanted to show was, sorry, I'm a new weatherman. I need to get a hold of my tools, is actually these tornado watch, and so you can see all these places getting highlighted in yellow. So that actually is that means you're under tornado watch. So we are within one of these regions. So we are currently under a tornado watch. But that's all right. It's all right because it's not a warning. A watch just means, hey, there's a decent there is a chance tornadoes spawn because of the weather. It doesn't mean that there is tornadoes. So I guess lucky for that. But flash flooding is these areas in blue. If you're in any of these areas, it just means there's gonna be a lot of rain. If you're on a low level area or have bodies of water around you, you might want to be careful. You got lakes or rivers, you might want to be a little careful. If you're in one of these areas, even if you're not near the coast, there could be some flash flooding. And then we have the storm surge, which, if you can see, this red is just kind of along the coast. So, all these red areas are going to be affected by storm surge. You may be surprised if you are currently on the, east side of Florida, and you'd be thinking that, oh, well, the hurricane's hitting over here. It's going to weaken by the time it gets to, this side of Florida. But that doesn't change that the storm surge is going to affect you. And the reason you mostly see it up here in the north is because, this hurricane's actually, turning counterclockwise. And so when the winds are kind of spinning, so that's the west side. This is the east side. This is the east side of Florida, sir, madam. But anyway, the reason you see the red mostly up here is because the hurricane is spinning counterclockwise. And so obviously if you're up in these parts and the eye's kind of down here, then the water's getting slammed right into you. In the same way with these little storm clusters as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cooked are you? I think honestly, I got a little bit lucky, just because the hurricane kind of weakened. So, like I said, we're kind of in this southwestern side of Florida, and right now we're getting hit pretty hard. But by the time the actual eye of the storm, which currently is somewhere along the coast, about to make landfall, gets kind of towards the middle, it'll be down to only 90 miles an hour of wind. Only 90 miles an hour of wind. So it's pretty expected that our power will go out. And there's a lot of areas where, like, as you can see, these places without power, which are these counties up here, these colored ones, even all the way up in North Carolina and Tennessee, These are from the last hurricane, which was a week ago. So obviously you lose power somewhere in here, and your power could be out for a week, or longer, and that's obviously not fun. That's why that's a lot of the primary reason why people tell you to get snacks and water is because it can get hard to travel with all the stuff on the roads, and all the flooding and all the businesses that are closed down. It can get hard for you to have food, and also if your fridge, if the power goes out and then the food in your fridge goes bad, then you need kind of non-perishable stuff like crackers and peanut butter and cereal, to eat and keep you fed during the aftermath of the hurricane. So we have lots of that. We got it. We ordered in some. We got some of George's favorite snack. We got him the chocolate raisins. We got some like Pringles and peanut butter, and we're good. I think we'll be safe unless a tornado or something spawns, which is why we're kind of keeping an eye on the weather here. And even though I am, currently your weatherman, I am also my own weatherman, and I'm trying to pay attention to figure out, what's affecting me the most, and what's going to happen, to make sure that I don't get cooked. Yeah. Did the hurricane take Sapnap? Yeah, Sapnap's gone. Unfortunately, Sapnap is gone. Luckily he's somewhere like over here, so I guess he's fine from the hurricane, but he's gone. What about Patches? Patches seems fine. We had to close the cat door because the cats kept going outside, and they don't really realize what's going on. They think it's kind of cool. They're trying to storm watch. We did have to kind of close them out. This is crazy. Like, look at this. It's just the rain is pelting right into the camera. Minecraft speedrunner versus Hurricane. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you don't want the cats to get into the eye of the hurricane. And the surrounding area, because if they do, then they'll get, cats will, they'll probably die. So you want to maybe take your pets and have them be maybe it's the first time you'll want to ever travel to Alabama. I don't know any other reason than to avoid the hurricane. But outside of that, the hurricane, I think if you're in one of these coastal areas, you better have evacuated. You better have evacuated if you're in any of these coastal areas. Why didn't you and George evacuate? Well, we're not in a mandatory evacuation zone, and it can get pretty hectic. There's no flights. There's all the gas gets purchased out because people are panicking, and they're worried about they're worried about themselves. So it makes sense. We're not in a mandatory evacuation zone, so we should be safe. We just have to pay attention kind of to our phones and the alerts, and mostly tornadoes, which right now these kind of storm clusters I think are the most dangerous for tornadoes, and they are right now off the coast, which is good. Just kind of paying attention to the weather reports kind of as they come in to try and figure out where this is actually making landfall, because it's been trending north for a while. Because originally it projected to go a little more southern recently, but in the last 4 to 8 hours it's kind of been trending more north, which isn't good for Tampa, because Tampa did just get hit, and now they're currently hit again. Looks like this weather tower is off, or this radar tower. I kind of want to check out like one of these cameras. Okay, it's kind of in a more central area of I'm here live on the coverage. Yeah. So this, I mean, as you can see, most of Florida is kind of cooked. But if you're on the coast, you got to worry the most. So let's go ahead and we'll answer some questions. Anyone in chat have questions? Will Lakeland? Someone said, will Lakeland be okay? My grandma's there. Where is Lakeland? Answer that. There's Lakeland. Where is Lakeland? You want to tell me? Actually, oh, Lakeland's right here. Um, Lakeland. I mean, I think it's kind of similar. Luckily, it's not as coastal. But Lakeland is kind of getting hit by the top right of the storm, which is the strongest part of the storm. Um, I think that it's high likelihood that your grandma loses power probably, and potentially some trees and stuff going down. But I think the as long as she's being safe and smart, and I think she should be fine. I think the coastal areas are the ones you want to worry about the most. Um, is the Waffle House closed? Yeah, Waffle House is closed. That is detrimental. Did it hit you really or not yet? I mean, it's hitting right now. I'm just kind of in a soundproof bunker, um, trying to do this weather report. Um, Are you in a flood zone? We are not in a flood zone, which is luckily. Dream, is this your first hurricane? No, this is not my first hurricane. I've actually been through quite a bit of hurricanes. This may be one of the worst potentially. I guess we'll see in the future. But oh, this camera lost connection here. I don't know if that's. I don't know why that is. You have a totem on dying? I do not, unfortunately. And we can take a peek at some different views. Like if I check out, change up the display that I want to do. I'll go ahead and do a satellite display. So we can get a better look at this here. There's actually a hurricane over here. That's heading for the Spain area. But I think it's going to be a tropical storm by then, so it's not nothing too worrying. But yeah, the suit looks cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I wish we could just slash clear the weather here, but unfortunately, that is not possible. We do have to just deal with the brunt of the storm and kind of push through it, um, and hope that we're good. Will Palm Bay be okay? Well, actually, Palm Bay right now, guys, is under a big threat for tornadoes. That's the big thing I'd say you should worry about. There was probably, I'd say, if you have relatives kind of in this area up the Space Coast in Cape Canaveral, Titusville, down even towards Sebastian area, these storm clusters just passed over them a little bit ago, and there was a lot of tornado warnings just kind of before we went live. So check up, make sure they're okay, make sure they're paying attention to their tornado warnings, because tornadoes are probably the most dangerous part of this hurricane right now for people that are on the east coast of Florida. At least from my understanding. Again, not a professional weatherman, but the tornadoes are pretty dangerous. And so yeah, Palm Bay is probably going to be overall a little better because the storm surge is more northern. But yeah, I'd say be careful. Be careful, pay attention. Someone said, what about Boca? But I think Boca's fine. Boca, Miami, all down here are probably pretty good. But hey, again, you live alone right now? No, I don't live alone. Do you think this hurricane will be worse than the last one? Yes, I think this hurricane will be worse than the last one. I think the only thing that is a little bit of a saving grace, which maybe isn't, maybe is that Florida is kind of more used to hurricanes, so we have more infrastructure for them, and I think that places, when you talk about like Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, they're not as like prepared for hurricanes, and so when you get a direct hit like they did before, it can be pretty devastating, and so that's why I think. We don't know. Like Helene could be worse technically in terms of the casualties and stuff, but I'm not actually sure. What about Gainesville? Well, Gainesville again, you're kind of getting unluckily cooked again by the hurricane. I was actually just in Gainesville, and there wasn't I didn't see too much like destruction or anything from Helene. So I mean, I'm sure there was, but I think luckily for Gainesville, the hurricane is kind of more southern this time, and so there's you're gonna get bad weather. You're gonna get some some flash flooding, maybe some rain, lots of wind. So just be Be safe. Is Clearwater gonna be okay? No, you're cooked. You better have evacuated. Clearwater is cooked. You're cooked. You're cooked. Um, Washington. Washington. Yeah, Washington. You're probably fine. I mean, I think if you're in this area of the country, I mean, you're probably fine. I think anywhere up here, Washington, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, I think you're probably good. You're probably chilling. You're in Kansas, anywhere out there. California, yeah, you're probably chilling. Mexico. Well, I don't know about that one. Mexico, if you're over here, I mean, it's past you now, but if you were vacationing in Cancun recently, you might have gotten hit pretty hard by like the luckily the south side, but of the Category 5 hurricane. I'd be a little worried if you know some people that are up here in the northern parts. I haven't seen many reports or anything. So back to Florida, because Florida, this is where it's the majority of the majority of the damage is being done. You hope Arizona will be okay. Yeah, prayers for Arizona, guys. Prayers for Arizona in the chat. Hopefully Arizona's fine. They're not getting hit by the hurricane, but they live in Arizona. Kentucky's safe. Yeah, Kentucky's probably safe. So yeah, we can check out these little tornado spots. I kind of want to see. I want to check on one of these cameras over here. Let's see if we got. Oh, that camera's down. The cameras are kind of slowly going out. Right now this one you can barely see. I don't know if you guys can see here, but they've got these rocks here, and this is a little bit of the ocean out here. But it's really hard to tell because just because of the just because of all the wind and the rain. Yeah, you can't really see anything there. See, one of the sad things is you guys can see all this up here, like all this trash that's on the side. This is actually from Helene. So, the Tampa area did get hit by a previous hurricane like a week ago. And so this is all the collective trash and stuff that they piled up, that got flung around from the previous hurricane. And so now, they're sitting out there and it's just going to get flung right back right when the hurricane, comes again. So unfortunately, this is not the best. And that's in Siesta Key. I'm actually kind of curious how we're doing down here in like Port Charlotte area. Okay. That doesn't look great. So yeah, as you can see, it's kind of windy. And there's some big waves coming through. So this is kind of windy. You want to be careful if you're in this area. Hopefully you evacuated. Heed the warnings. Hurricanes do exist. Global warming is real, and there's not a hurricane machine. Okay, and if there is, it was me. I did it. I don't know why, but I did. But yeah, we can. There's a lot of this. So we're looking at like right now. This kind of is a 2D view of the like satellite radar or radar imagery. We can actually look at it 3D and we can check out kind of how the hurricane is built out over here. I think this is kind of a cool view here. If we want to kind of check it out, this is like a lot. This is some of the data here. If we look at this, as you can kind of see the eye of the storm and see, as you kind of go into it, you can kind of see there's different kind of layers of wind, throughout. And that's kind of, hurricanes can be, this is what we're talking about, these kind of storm spots that right now are on kind of on the, where are they? I think I'm losing track. They're on the east side of Florida right now. And these dark red spots over here, this is where the tornadoes, because the tornadoes are kind of popping up, and luckily this is the coast of Florida is kind of along here right now, so it's not, it's fine. But yeah, again, tornadoes probably are one of the scariest things right now. It looks so cool but deadly. Yeah, it is pretty deadly and scary. Get the Titan to take the Hurricane out. We did think about that, but we realized it was just a video game, so we couldn't do that, unfortunately. Why aren't you doing this during the actual hurricane? What do you mean? Guys, this is live. Okay, this is live coverage right now. This is live, current, up to date radar imagery. Okay, and if you're curious, you see all this, the red, the yellow. That's all wind. That's all insane, powerful wind. Like, look, this is 120 miles an hour winds around the eye of the hurricane. And if you're curious where we are, where George and I are, we're right in here. This is where we are. This is where this broadcast is being done from, guys. This is where it's being done from. Right in here. And the hurricane, guess what? It's moving this way. You see this path right here? This is where the hurricane's going. This is where it's going. Right now it's over here. But it is currently heading in this direction. Right up towards us in this kind of southwestern area of Orlando. How is the stream even working? Because we have special weather equipment just for these broadcasts, just so we can get the news and information to you guys, because you need the news. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten to. Just before I went live, we were getting tornado warning after tornado warning. And again, kind of on the Space Coast area, but now we're not. I think it is made because most of these kind of hot spots moved off the coast, luckily. But yeah, I've never actually streamed on X before, so that is one thing that we're doing right now. That is kind of new. But yeah, again, guys, this is legitimate data. This is live coverage. And this is legitimate data. So if you're obviously if you can, if you're in one of these areas, you can get information from your news or from your apps or from wherever you want. But also, if we do get any major tornado warnings, we'll be making sure you guys are aware. Is this George's first hurricane? Yeah, this is actually George's first hurricane. He's never been through a hurricane before. They don't have them in London. Is Skeppy okay? Okay, guys. So you see this area that is covered in red and yellow and orange and all of this, like this whole area here that's being hit by the toughest part of the hurricane. So that's currently where Skeppy is. Skeppy is somewhere within this area. And that is where he is. And I did say, hey, Skeppy, if you need a place to stay, you're welcome to evacuate. And he said, no, I'm not. Okay, that's not what he said. He said he's probably safe, he's not in an evacuation zone, and that if he does need help later, that he will let me know. But anyway, yeah, Skeppy's cooked. So, R.I.P. Skeppy. Yeah, any questions you guys have? Is Sapnip okay? Yeah, he's chilling. He's in LA. He's in Los Angeles. He took a plane out of the hurricane. You guys wanna, if you guys wait, I think I can show something cool. Where is my I think there's a way I can, I don't know. How do I Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry guys, I'm just learning this equipment. I thought there was some way I could like view like the planes, because there's like hurricane watchers that fly the planes into the hurricane to get this like data. And I think I could like view the path of the plane, but I don't actually know how to do that. So is Davenport all right? Davenport I think is somewhere in this area as well. I think it's the same. Davenport's pretty similar to kind of how I am. Like Davenport's right here. Davenport's kind of in our area, so I think it'll be pretty strong winds, lots of rain, probably some flash flood warnings, and we are under a tornado watch, I believe. And so that just means, you know, beware, be ready for tornado warnings if they do pop up. But we are under, let me check it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we're under a tornado watch, and that's we are under a tornado watch. If you're in Davenport, you're under a tornado watch, so just pay attention to your phone. Make sure that you're paying attention. Other than that, you should potentially be okay. Miami's fine, right? I'm scared because they're on the coast. Miami should be fine. You should be fine if you're in Miami. I think that you see all the storm that's kind of north, north, a little more northern. It's like kind of above this line, and obviously these did get hit. So obviously, if you're kind of in that, you know, Port St. Lucie area, West Palm Beach area, you probably already got a big brunt of what'll happen unless the hurricane kind of moves on this southern track. I believe. I think Miami should be fine. You probably already gotten the worst of it. Is Disney World going to be okay? I mean, I pray to God Disney World's going to be okay. Come on, don't we all? That's the most important thing. Disney World's probably gonna be fine. I mean, it's south of Orlando. It's gonna be hit. I mean, again, it'll be hit pretty hard probably, but I think the infrastructure in Florida is pretty good. There'll be a lot of rain. But outside of that, luckily they should be more okay. I hope so, at least. Mickey Mouse should be fine. Everyone pray for Mickey Mouse. What about Clearwater? You're cooked. You're cooked. You're cooked. All of this, it's all cooked. Like, look, here's a camera from Clearwater. You're cooked. You're just cooked. Cape Coral, that's more southern. Cape Coral, I mean, you got to be really careful because all the storm surge. Again, I'm pretty sure you guys are under, Cape Coral is under a, you know, storm surge warning. Let me just make sure that's the case. We got some storm surge. Yeah, so if you're in this Cape Coral area, you are under warning for storm surge. So you are getting probably, I mean, I don't have the feetage here, but if I had to guess from what I remember, it's somewhere between like 5 and 7, maybe even 10 feet of storm surge in this area. Or maybe it's more north, I'm not sure. But just be careful, especially if you live in the you know, near the edge. Like, look, there's a vacation villa here. It's cooked. It's cooked. I want to see this vacation villa later. But yeah, you look. I think the storm did trend a little bit north, kind of last second. Otherwise, Cape Coral would have gotten hit a lot harder, at least from what I know. So, I think Cape Coral got is still kind of, again, still getting hit pretty hard by storm surge. It'd be pretty bad probably. Especially because because the hurricane's moving counterclockwise, yeah, a lot of the water's getting slammed up on Cape Coral. I imagine you're pretty, you're pretty cooked, but hopefully you'll be fine. Because like this camera, oh, look at that, oh, that water. Wait, what is that? That's not it. Oh God, look at that. Look at the waves. Kind of crazy. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. All right. We got any more questions there? Okeechobee. Where is that? I don't know where that is. Second, I'm just looking something up. Okay. Where is Tampa? Tampa is right here. This is the Tampa area. This is not super good. This is a camera from kind of more inland in Tampa, which doesn't. Yeah, this is the Tampa kind of area. here. Um, yeah, most cooked part of the hurricane is usually the kind of upper right eye wall or whatever. I don't know exactly where that is, but it's just this whole area is getting hit with the strongest winds. And then I think that the southern parts are getting hit with the strongest storm surge. Dream, are you in a safe area? Are you okay? We're kind of in this southern western Orlando area. Um, so we are currently getting hit pretty hard. But hopefully we will be fine. We're not by a coast. We are kind of elevated. So I would hope that we're doing fine. Um, Dream versus Hurricane. Minecraft Speedrunner versus Hurricane. Will it hit any other states? It's not projected to right now. If I can see what the kind of projected path is projected to just go through Florida, say fuck you Florida, and then just continue kind of into I guess Bermuda, out into the sea. Again, as we know, hurricanes hate Florida, so of course it's gonna go from way over here by Mexico. It's gonna go up just so it can avoid this, and then go down, and then go make its way just to Florida and pass through, and you know does not like us, which is okay. Is your family all right? My family should be fine. Again, my family's kind of in the Orlando area. So again, the scariest thing right now for people that are more inland is probably the tornadoes rather than the flooding. If you're on the coast, it's the flooding. If you're on you're more inland, it's the tornadoes, which we haven't got a tornado warning in a bit. There was some if you have family in kind of the areas on the Space Coast, through Melbourne, Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie. You should probably check up. There was tornadoes through there. Riverview, Florida. I don't know where I'm saying check flight aware for the flights, but I had there was something in here I could do where I could see the flights. I don't remember where. I have a bunch of different tools. I think I can measure the distance between positions as well. Kind of cool. Can cats sense hurricanes coming? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't actually know. Is your local Waffle House closed? Yes, everything's closed. Everything's closed. Everything's closed. Riverview is near Tampa. They're cooked. Where's Riverview? Yeah, Riverview's here. Yeah, you're cooked. Cooked. Oh, that's this camera. This camera's in Riverview. Or near it. It's in Brandon. I mean, as of right now, it's not too cooked, but you're probably. I mean, this cam could just be in a good area. You're cooked. Great day for the beach. We're coming up on the 45. This isn't real. This is real. This is real, guys. This is live coverage. This is Hurricane Milton. Okay, Hurricane Milton that's smashing into Florida. We are live on the scene. May not look like it, but we are live on the scene. Ocala. I think Ocala is just kind of in the Orlando area, right? Or am I wrong? Where it's northern. Yeah. Yeah, I mean you might get some power problems eventually. Again, some flash flooding maybe from all the rain, but you'll probably be okay. Just be wary of tornadoes. Keep your phone on you. Be ready for tornado warnings. Try and keep up with what's going on. My local Waffle House is closed. I've said that. People keep asking. It's closed. If there's both hurricane and tornado, you're supposed to find high ground or low ground. I'm pretty sure you're just supposed to shelter in a room, a sturdy room, no windows, cover your head, be safe. I would definitely be more worried about the tornado than the hurricane if there was a tornado and a hurricane. Is L'Manberg safe? L'Manberg's cooked. Cooked. It's been decimated. It has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with the hurricane, but it is cooked. Yeah, it is interesting just kind of taking a look at all this. There's a lot of different like kind of views that you can take as well. I do like looking at kind of the fact that these are all the, you see the different colored in counties. These are the power outages, and obviously the darker red there are, the more there are. So it looks like right now, kind of this Brooksville, Spring Hill area has kind of the most power outages, surprisingly. And again, we're kind of up in this area, so we haven't had, there hasn't been reported power outages yet, but we haven't got the strongest of winds here yet. We will probably, which is why I'll be ending the stream soon, because we'll probably be getting hit by the strongest winds coming up soon, and then especially when the eye kind of comes through and starts cooking us. So that we'll have to be preparing for that. But right now, this is kind of the power outage map. Again, there's some more over on this side just because the hurricane, some stronger storm spots kind of went through it earlier. Yeah, right now looks like there's not too many power outages areas. Like here, there's only 13,000 people without power. When I say only, but only. Whereas up here, there's a higher percentage. 32% of people don't have power right now in this Spring Hill, Brooksville area. Yeah, as of right now, we still do have power. Look at that. That's kind of crazy. 90,000 people with no power right now. 94,000 in Pinellas County. That is kind of crazy. We got in this Tampa area, which is in the Hillsborough County, we got 64,000, so 10% of people, 9% of people, and there's a lot of people, almost a million, 700,000 people, kind of in this area. I wonder down here, 60,000, 22%, quite a lot. Yeah, power outage is going to be pretty big. Because like I said, these counties up here that don't have power, like this county right now, 50% of people don't have power in this county, and it's been a week. It's been a week since the last hurricane hit. So power outages can last a while. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we don't lose power. We probably will, but hopefully we don't. If we do, hopefully it doesn't go out for very long. Yeah. Please tell me the fusion rig is safe. I mean, hopefully it's not. We're not at high risk for floods. So I mean, unless something catastrophic happens and the whole building's ripped apart, we should be fine. Should be good. Why were you in Gainesville? Was it for the UCF game? Yeah, UCF played Florida. A must-see game. UCF lost, unfortunately, but it's all right. I was up here in Gainesville. I don't know. Yeah, here it is. Up here in Gainesville, which right now has power. No power outages reported. Pretty good. You go outside, will the wind blow you away? No, the wind isn't super. I mean, it's pretty strong right now, but it's not the worst it will be for sure. How cooked is Cocoa Beach? Well, Cocoa Beach right now is like I said, probably at high risk for tornadoes, probably more so. Where's Cocoa? Where's Cocoa Beach? I know it's over here on this coast. I swear it's. Oh, Cocoa. There you go. Yeah, Cocoa Beach. I mean, right now, as you can see, the hurricane looks like it's gonna go straight through. Is that Cocoa Beach or is that just Cocoa? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Cocoa Beach is. I know it's on this kind of Space Coast area. So, luckily, the hurricane will be weakened by then. A lot. Again, I think you'll have some storm surge going on. And you'll have some storm surge. And you have to deal with probably a lot of your power will probably almost definitely go out. But yeah, how cooked is Miami? You're fine. Miami's probably fine. I mean, here, I'll put back on the satellite so you can kind of see. But this is kind of where the storm is, and if you're down in Miami, you're probably fine because the storm's kind of up here in this area. You might experience some some rain and stuff. But outside of that, I mean, you kind of already tell the majority of the weather is already kind of out and about. Because you kind of have these spots down here when you're in Miami right now. I mean, these are maybe I'd be worried about these kind of darker areas here. But you're just gonna get some rain and wind and not probably shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad down in Miami. Stupid question. Why does the power go out when hurricanes hit? That's not stupid. So power lines. I mean, I don't actually know the exact reason why power lines are like in the air. Maybe it's for safety or something. I don't know. But power lines are typically in the air, and so trees fall, branches fall, wind blows, and shit falls, and then the power lines have to be repaired. They have to be like put back up. So power lines are extra susceptible to heavy winds. Too expensive to put underground. That makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty expensive to have stuff be underground to go everywhere that the power goes, because power obviously just goes pretty much everywhere. Did you not need to evacuate? Yeah, we weren't in an evacuation zone. Again, we kind of are in this central Florida area, central western, southwestern central Florida. So we're not in an evacuation zone. Again, the majority of evacuation zones are kind of along the coast because that's where the flooding is, which I think 90% of hurricane deaths are actually caused by drowning. Not 100% sure on that, so I don't want to spread misinformation, but the majority of hurricane related deaths have to do with flooding and water. Is Colorado cooked? Yeah, if you're in Colorado, you probably should evacuate. Not because of the hurricane, but just because Colorado sucks. Outside of that, back to Florida. West Virginia, okay. I think West Virginia is fine. You're not getting hit. West Virginia, you're not getting hit by anything. There's nothing around there. Why are you out of power in Mansfield? What happened up there? I don't know. It's Ohio. Come on. Ohio. How long before power will be back? It really depends. I mean, sometimes Florida's gotten pretty quick at it, to be honest. Which is why, like, even though Florida did get hit by a bunch of stuff from the previous hurricane, the majority of power outages are here. As you can see, they're kind of in Georgia and South Carolina and in North Carolina. But I mean, it could be out. Power literally could be out for weeks because, like, up here, these power lines are still out, and it's been a week since the previous hurricane. And a lot of these places up here still don't have power. So if you live in like a major area, major city, if you live in like central Orlando, I'd be surprised if you didn't have power for longer than like a week, which is still a long time, obviously. But they usually prioritize things. But because the previous hurricane just hit, and a lot of the power linesmen that go and fix the lines got sent from Florida to these other places to try and help them. So it could be longer this time because the hurricane did just get hit. But South Carolina, is Mr. Beast okay? Well, actually, he's in North Carolina, but he is cooked. Not from the hurricane, but he's cooked. Is Waffle House open? No. Waffle House isn't open. Is Mickey Mouse open? Mickey Mouse is closed. Disney's closed. Cancel your Disney trips. You should probably wait. What part of Georgia is cooked? I mean, if you're in the very southern kind of tips of Georgia, you might be getting a little bit, but this is pretty much a Florida only hurricane primarily. I mean, Florida's primarily getting the brunt of it, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, kind of when I look at a different radar, that you're getting a lot of rain and wind and stuff. But I'd be, if you're in kind of southern parts of Georgia, I'd be a little more safe, and especially because you just got hit. But outside of that, is Miami in downtown okay? You should be fine. I mean, like I said, on other radars that are closer to Miami, you will have some storm, and I'd be on the lookout for just alerts on your phone, because I think that you're probably not going to get any flooding, or you're probably going to get very little flooding, very little storm surge, very little you know, you in Miami, you kind of just want to pay attention to the tornadoes if there are any tornado warnings, which I don't think there. I mean, right now, I mean, is it? Let me check. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Let me be accurate here. Tornado watch. Yeah, Miami's not even in a tornado watch right now, so you're not. These are the kind of areas, these yellow areas. If you are currently in one of these, that you should be kind of weary of tornadoes. There aren't any right now, at least that we have on our radar. But these are the areas where you are kind of I'm in I'm in this area, so I am currently under a tornado watch. But outside of that, Miami, you're fine. You should be okay. You can relax. Just pay attention to your phone. St. Lucy's is crazy, and Wellington too, full tornadoes. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I mean, if you're on this whole Space Coast area, I'd be pretty worried. I mean, I guess maybe not anymore because the stuff did, primarily move, more West Coast. But now these kind of are starting. I think because the storms, it's moving this way. All of these are going to end up, as far as I know, they're going to end up back on the land. And when these move back over, all these these storm spots, like these red, which are more prone to like tornadoes, and I think the storm is moving this way, like it's going counterclockwise in a circle. So because of that, if you're kind of in any of these areas, maybe even like in northern, above Orlando, maybe I'd be more worried and watch out for your tornado warnings and just make sure. Pay attention. Tornadoes are probably, if you're inland, I think tornadoes will be the thing I'd be watching out for. And if you're on the coast, then you probably should be evacuated or you're possibly dead. But I wonder if there's water tornadoes. Yeah, there's water spouts. I mean, probably, I don't know about out here, but I mean, where there's definitely water spouts. / weather clear. All right, fine. / weather clear. All right, any questions? Which way is it moving? As you can see, this track here. So you can see this is where the hurricane kind of started down here. And then the hurricane kind of moved up, went along here, going to Florida. And this cone here is the kind of projected path. So it goes out into, the Atlantic. I did zoom out to check. Don't call me a fake weatherman. Know my oceans. Yeah, so it's coming out, and so it's right now it's heading east, kind of northeast, and but the hurricane itself kind of rotates counterclockwise, which means the winds are kind of spinning around, and I guess like the north part of the storm is spinning, and the winds are moving in the west southwestern direction. Only weatherman I trust. Only get your news from the most trusted of sources. We only care about the truth. Nothing but the truth. We care about keeping you safe in Florida and other southern states from the hurricanes. That's it. We're the most trusted news source, Dream News. So tune in once a year, get your primary weather alerts. I will only be doing these weather streams when it directly impacts me because I'm selfish. Otherwise, you will have to get your news from a trusted source that's not us, which unfortunately doesn't exist. All news is biased and fake. So just wait until next time we have a hurricane, then you can check back in with us. But anyway, until then, we got this map of Florida here with Hurricane Milton, and we're just keeping an eye on everything. There's been no tornado alerts. I think that's thank God for that. Is North Carolina safe? Yeah, you're safe from this hurricane. You're safe from this hurricane. Neptune Beach. I mean, I don't know where Neptune Beach is, but because it's a beach, I'd be a little more worried. Be a little more worried. We're kind of just looking around the storm. I think let me check out some of these cameras again. Yeah, I mean it's windy, it's raining. I like. There we go. Okay, perfect. Turned off my cursor, so now it looks more like Dream is actually me. Um, all right. Uh, we can check out different views as well. Like this is a satellite imagery, so how long are you gonna stream? Not too much longer. We just hit the hour mark on the stream. And like I said, we're kind of this hurricane currently is trending towards us. Again, it's kind of moving. It's just now kind of getting into that Sarasota area. We're praying for you if you're in Sarasota. Um, or any of these areas, to be honest, because you're getting cooked by a Category 3 hurricane with 120 miles per hour wind speed as of 18 minutes ago. So that's, Dream, are you donating to charity? No, I hate charity. I will never be donating to charity. Charity's the worst. We're just here to cover the news, guys. We're here to cover the news. Is Chicago safe? I mean, no, but hurricanes should be fine. If you're in Chicago, the hurricane's not going to touch you. Don't worry. Um, Jacksonville cooked. Nah, I mean Jacksonville. You're very northern. Again, I'd be worried about be paying attention to tornado warnings or anything, and be paying attention to oh, you're gonna get storm surge up in Jacksonville, I believe. If you're on the coast of Jacksonville, I'd be worried about storm surge. So just pay attention to that. And just know that if you're on the eastern side of Florida, you are not completely safe. You may think, oh, the hurricane's only hitting over here and then it's progressing down. No, if you are on the Space Coast, you should be worried about tornadoes. There's been tornadoes hitting all day up and down this Space Coast. Down in Port St. Lucie, all the way to northern parts of Daytona Beach and up. This whole coast has been getting smashed by tornadoes. And then on the northern side of Florida, whether up to Jacksonville, maybe even from down in Titusville, there's storm surge. So if you are on the east side of Florida, do not think that you are just safe from this storm. Please be prepared. This may seem like an unserious stream, but this is serious. We're being serious. Are Florida schools closed? I hope so. Is all of Florida affected? I mean, pretty much the whole state of Florida is affected, at least a little bit. But I mean, if you're in kind of the Central Florida area, from Tampa to Cape Canaveral, anywhere kind of in between those two cities, you're much more cooked. Obviously, the more northern you get, the less affected you are, and the more southern you get, the less affected you are. But the north side of the hurricane has it's pretty powerful. So, um, is it safe for you to stream now? Like electricity can be damaged. It's fine. I mean, right now we have power. Like I said, the power outages are kind of these on the map. So like if I go ahead and shut off this, you can see that the colored in counties are reported power outages. And again, we're kind of in this southwestern side of Orlando. So we're not right now. There's not any reported power outages kind of in our area. So, what does cooked mean? Cooked. It's self-explanatory. Georgia update. I think again, if you're kind of in the southeastern side of Georgia, I'd be a little worried. I'd be prepared. But if you're in northern parts of Georgia, if you're up more towards Atlanta, you're fine. And again, if you're in southern parts of Georgia, and you just be prepared for worse weather, be prepared for maybe power outages. But it's more about the storm surge, I think, along the coastal areas. Let me pull back on the storm surge and see, and just make sure I'm Yeah, so if you're down in like Brunswick, Kingsland, you gotta be worried about storm surge. These little red lines indicate kind of storm surge. Which again, like I said, if you're on this east coast of Florida, even inland, even if you're inland a little bit on this east coast of Florida in Jacksonville, because you have all these rivers that are very prone to storm surge. If you're in any of these red areas right now, be weary. But yeah, like I said, we're kind of currently, George and I are kind of currently in this area of kind of southwestern, um, southwestern Florida, kind of Four Corners ish. And so the eye right now is kind of in this area over in Sarasota. I hope, pray for them. But it is currently on track to go right through kind of us. We're right above us. So right now we're not getting the brunt of it. We're getting some strong wind. It's pretty windy. Maybe I'll post a little video on Snapchat or something. So the winds we got. But it'll be worse later. So the stream will be ending shortly, just so we can be extra safe, extra prepared. And we probably, power would go out and stuff anyway. So, how long do you guys think you will lose power for? I'm not sure, but we're prepared. We have our snacks. We got our Prime and our Lunchleys and everything. We're ready to go. We'll be safe with some non-perishables for a couple days. We're ready to go. Better be safe. This is serious stuff, serious weather, serious coverage. This is for the people, by the people. You know when it will touch land? I think it's touching land now. I think it's making landfall now. Maybe I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure as of right now. You can kind of see the eye. The eye so basically, just so you guys know. So hurricanes, the kind of smaller and more like clean the eye is, the stronger the storm is usually. So as the storm kind of approaches, like we can actually, I can show you guys by, I think, going back a little bit. And playing from a little bit ago. Let's see if we can do this. I might have to go on a different view. It's fine. But you see how over here this is like earlier, and the eye is kind of on this part of the storm. I don't know if you guys can see here. This is the eye of the storm, and it's widening. It's kind of getting wider and wider and wider as it's kind of approaching. So this whole eye, it's getting less uniform because the storm is weakening kind of as it's approaching. And then soon, when it's over Florida, the eye could actually be, as big as a massive kind of circle. It's not going to be, it's not going to be as small. And so right now, I believe that we're kind of seeing the eye starting to touch down. The eye walls are starting to touch down in Florida right now in Sarasota. But again, I'm not an expert, so that's just what it looks like to me. I'm just going off of the eye test. Because if we currently, let me switch to. Instead of radar, I'm going to switch to satellite imagery for a minute, and go ahead and look and see how this is. Go ahead. Back. 3 frames. Just setting this up for a second, guys. So, yeah, you can't even really see the eye on here. This is satellite imagery versus is a big eye worse? I mean, I'm pretty sure that the bigger the storm, kind of the worse the impacts can be, because it can spread out into a lot of areas. But generally, the smaller the eye is, the stronger the storm is. So it can be extra devastating if you're direct. It depends if you're getting directly hit. If you're getting directly hit, then the eye is kind of if you're inside the eye, is that where it's usually the calmest, or is it the worst inside the eye? So inside the eye is generally the calmest. If you're in the dead center of the eye, That's generally the calmest part of the storm. How do I switch? I'm trying to switch views. It's not doing great. I'll switch back. Yeah, if you're inside the eye, it's actually the calmest part of the storm. But the eye wall, so the parts of, like, imagine a water spout, right? If you turn your sink on, or you drain your bath and you see kind of the water spinning, the center that you can see, it's empty. There's no water, right? But then right when you're on the edge, that's where the suction is the most powerful. And then if you move away kind of in the bath, then you'll realize that the suction is less powerful. It's the same thing with the hurricane. Hurricanes work the same way. When you're in the eye, it's nothing. It's calm. It can even be sunny. The sun can be out. There can be barely any wind. And then if you get hit by the eye wall, then you're in danger, because that is the most powerful part of the hurricane. I want to slow down. I'll switch back to radar, because radar has this. So yeah, I think that right now the eye, I believe the eye is kind of this section over here of the storm. And so the eye, I think, looks like it's making landfall again. I'm not an expert. I'm a weatherman, but I'm a Minecraft weatherman. I'm not fully qualified, so I'm not 100% sure. But it does look like this kind of is the part of the section that's from the eye. So, and I do recommend you get news from your primary better sources than me. But I do have notifications on for the tornado warnings, and if you're basically, I mean, there's about this hurricane, the major things you need to know is pay attention to your tornado warnings. If you were on the coast, you probably should have evacuated by now. Don't evacuate now. It's too late. They've said stay in your place if you are. If you're in other parts of Florida, just pay attention to tornado warnings. Be safe. Be smart. That's it. Yeah. You ever get bored during hurricanes, like not having anything to do but wait without power? Yeah, hurricanes can be boring. It can be, but you can be happy that you're bored, because if you were in a worse part of it, you could be getting cooked. So I'll take a couple more questions, and then we'll probably end the broadcast, just to make sure the weather people are all safe. Any video coming out on YouTube soon? Yeah, I hope so. We've been trying to film, and we keep getting hurricane after hurricane. And unfortunately, in these hurricanes, even if we don't lose power, you can't really do anything. You can't have people drive to your house, because there's wind and rain, and it's ridiculous. And there's obviously flooding, and power and internet sometimes can go out. So it's been this is the second hurricane in a row the last 2 weeks. So we're kind of. We're a little cooked. It's all right. We'll get one. I think hopefully after this is the last hurricane. You never know. But turn on Kiss. New song. The hurricane will go away. I like it. I'll say it. I like it. I like it. It's my favorite song. Okay, it's not my favorite song, but I like it. All right. Why are you eating raw meat? I don't know. I don't know why I would do that. I don't know. Oh, you didn't hear anything? Oh, they didn't hear it. Oh, I was playing it. Oh, they didn't hear it. Okay. I guess I don't have that track selected or something. I guess that makes sense. Oh, so you can't hear the music. Oh, well, I was playing it. All right, whatever. I also played it at the beginning of the broadcast. All right, fine. Hey, this broadcast is, it's our first time doing a multi-stream broadcast and talking about the hurricane. So yeah, I want to answer one or two more questions, and then probably end at the 1 hour 20 minute mark. So that's 5 minutes from now. We've got 5 minutes left to answer some questions, then we'll call it quits for now. Hurricane Milton, everybody. Let's get your questions in. Let's see. Is Tampa grilled or cooked? Tampa's cooked. Tampa is cooked. Uh, Dream Parkour Civilization is safe. Parkour Civilization might be safe. I don't know what that is, so it's probably safe. Is your family in danger? My family's probably safe in the Orlando area. Hopefully. Since when is Dream a weather broadcaster? I just got here. This is your most trusted source for Hurricane Milton news. Bunker down and watch Talk to a. Yeah, I'll be putting on Talk to a podcast on my in the movie theater room, and living a truly privileged life during this hurricane. Here at Dream Weather News 6. Don't pray for us, pray for the people who need it. Then you're going to participate in any Minecraft events in the closed future? Zero idea. Let's see a cam. All right, fine. Let's check out a camera. We'll do it. Oh my god! I showed you guys this earlier, but now it's flooded, right? Is that's water down there, right? Or it's getting flooded. That ain't good. I showed you guys this camera earlier. Yeah, this is not looking good. It is not looking good. Oh my god, guys, this is crazy. Please tell me you evacuated. If you're in that area, tell me you evacuated. You better. You got a mandatory evacuation notice. I know you did. Wow. Okay. Let's check one more down south. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking too good almost anywhere. But it will only get crazier. I mean, this will only get crazier in some of these places. Um so yeah. Live tweets during the hurricane. Probably not. I mean, I might tweet out some stuff, but generally we'll probably just be being safe. Is Land O'Lakes cooked? It's just north of Tampa. Where is that? Just north of Tampa. I don't know where that is. Land O'Lakes. Look, if you're anywhere in this area, you're cooked. You're cooked. I don't know where that is, but you're cooked. Probably. Probably cooked. Is Daytona Beach okay? I'd be weary of tornadoes if you're in Daytona Beach. Tornadoes and storm surge. If you're right on the beach, you might be a little cooked. Um, but generally, just pay attention to your phone for tornado alerts because you could be experiencing tornadoes. Let me change my volume. Oh, oops. Not down. I mean to do that. Property. property. Huh. I wonder why you guys don't hear the music. Output. I don't know. I don't care. I'll work it out later. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this weather report. I hope that you stay safe. If you live anywhere in Florida, if you live in some of the coastal areas, be wary of storm surge, especially on East and West Florida. West Florida obviously is getting hit, but that's more obvious. If you didn't know, East Coast Florida will still have storm surge. Be safe. There's been lots of tornadoes. Pay attention to your apps and your notifications for tornado warnings. If you get a tornado warning, that means there is a tornado. There is one. Tornado watch, different story. Tornado warning, there is a tornado. There's been tornadoes all day, especially in the Space Coast areas in Melbourne, Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, even all the way up to Titusville. So be wary of tornadoes. There is tornado warnings in effect even in Orlando and Central Florida, other places. So please be wary, be safe. This is serious. I hope you evacuated if you were in an evacuation zone. If not, hopefully you are safe, hunkered down. Remember, if there is a tornado, get to a place without windows, get down, cover your head, and be safe. Other than that, I am currently getting hit by the hurricane and will be getting hit worse in the coming hours. So I'm going to go be safe. Luckily, I guess sort of luckily for people that are more inland, the biggest risks are more so tornadoes and then of course power outages. So hopefully we don't lose power. If we do, we'll be fine. I'll keep you guys updated, but be safe. Enjoy your day, and remember that Dream News is the only trusted news that you can follow. Yeah, for real. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Bye. Be safe.